Welcome to this video. We get a close Sicilian, might transfer to the Grand Prix attack with f4. So yeah, should I try something else this time? I mean, knight c6 is often played. e6, then f4 is quite good. I think I play g6 again. So he might turn now to d4, but he doesn't. Okay. So here I think I try a setup with playing f4 and d5 maybe also. This is rare. So he tries directly to get rid of the bishop here with playing bishop h6. So he provokes me that I play h6 or h5. I think I stay here with h6 to control g5. So this is all strange maneuvering. Does he want to move the knight here to g3, or what's going on? This is really strange what he does. Okay, so if he plays that passive, I think it's a good idea to try to crack up the center. Or I try even to close the center here. Yeah, so I think I even try this setup here. And should I play f5? Maybe later. So first just developing. The question if I should castle long or short. I think I move over the king to h7. The problem is that the pawn on h6 was rather weak. So now he wants to play a piece to g4, but here I think it's the right time to push for f5. So I have control over the squares here in the center, and this knight cannot jump to g4 or another piece as well. So maybe he wants to play f4 now. Yeah. I think I try to move now the pieces out of the g file to attack here on the g file. Alright, so yeah, I think he takes here now on g7. But he needs to take care about g2 as well. So he threatens also to take on h6 with the bishop when he takes here on e5. But what I want to do is now I put pressure on the g2 pawn. Is it possible maybe to play even e4? Well, first I try to get rid of the bishop here. And now e4 or not. So bishop g4 maybe. And I thought it might be interesting to jump with the knight to g3 because it's a checkmate. So he needs to exchange the bishop against the knight. And then I will push for e3 as well to open up this diagonal. He just overlooked it, right? Yeah, okay, this was lucky. But even without this checkmate, I think the position here is very strong for black. I have a lot of play on the g file and also here on this diagonal because I would push the pawn to e3, and then I have a lot of pressure on g2. I could also try to force him to leave the bishop here with h5 later on. So this is rather deadly. Yeah, I think it was a little bit strange what White did here at the beginning, because he maneuvered his bishop to d1, and I don't know really why he made this. Often you play the bishop to g2, or you just keep the bishop on e2, but he just wasted the tempo by playing bishop d1. And yeah, so if your opponent plays this slow, you should try to do something in the center. And here I directly attacked the center, but I was not really sure if I should really open it up, because I don't have a good square for my king. So he puts pressure on h6, so I thought it's quite dangerous to open up the center for me. But I had more space, and after closing the center, the idea was simple. I just wanted to grab even more space here later on the king side. And yeah, the idea in these kinds of positions is always to play either on the queen side, so I could play something like b5 and c4 to gain here a bit space, but sometimes you can also try to attack here on the other wing. So the only problem is that I need to take care about the pawn on e5, because after taking here, the pawn on e5 might become weak. Rook on e1, for example, the knight is also attacking e5, but in exchange I have control over the squares here, and it's much more difficult for White to take advantage of the weakened kingside position here of mine, because the pieces are, you know, it's not very easy for White to move to the kingside, whereas it's rather easy for me to move the pieces here in the direction of the white king. So here later on you could see, for example, in this position already, yeah, my rooks are aiming at the king, and yeah, I can also jump to d5 and use this as a square. The only piece that is not really able to participate on the king side attack is the knight on c6, but whenever he takes here on e5, this knight will be an active piece as well. Yeah, so in a closed position you need to attack on a wing, and sometimes it's you can choose the queen side, sometimes the king side, it depends. So but yeah, try to find an active plan and play on a wing in a closed position. Thanks for watching.